thank you everyone for joining. I'm Emily. I work on the marketing team at Castiron. I'm joined by Matt, our product manager. I'll give him a chance to introduce himself, but we are so excited to have you here today, talking about some of our newest features. Our product team has been very hard at work building some really cool things for you. So Matt will be able to share some of the really cool things that we've put together. But if you're new to Castiron, just wanted to share a little bit about who we are and why we're here. We've really found that so many people, especially in the last couple of years, have been looking to run their own business, be their own boss, do something that they are really passionate about and that they're talented at doing, rather than, working for someone else. Basically, they want the freedom to live the life that they want at home, usually without the stress of a traditional job. So, historically, the freedom to do that kind of thing has been relegated to a lucky few. Kind of hard to be able to just give up on a job and say, I'm going out on it on my own. But thanks to technology and laws and things like that, it's become a lot easier to be your own boss, especially if you want to make food and sell it to your community. So that's really why we're here. There are so many entrepreneurs turning to their passions, which revolve around food, just like you guys. Maybe it's a family recipe. Maybe you just baking is like your therapy. Maybe you've decided that you just want to work all day on what you love. You're definitely not alone. We can preach to you on that. We've got, thousands of food entrepreneurs using Castiron to run their businesses. But there's even more across the world starting businesses from their home. We know that it's really hard to get started. So, even if you have great recipes, you still have to deal with licensing and marketing and accounting and orders and customer service and scheduling and so much more, that's not why you got into the business, right? It's taking away from the time that you can spend doing what you love to do. So, really we've built Castiron as a way to help you move on from that. It doesn't have to be that way. So we help you attract new customers, run your business, sell more, all in one place, without needing to be a computer whiz or, a technical expert. So really, we help you save time that you would spend on those administrative tasks. We use it to help you, we give you more time back in your day, right? To help you be able to spend more time on the things that you care about. So that's kind of the overview of Castiron. Matt will give you more of the nitty gritty, here's how we help you do that kind of thing. But really, that's why we're here. So if you ever have any questions, if you ever want to turn to a community of food entrepreneurs, that's really why we're here. So Matt, do you want to introduce yourself and give a little overview?
Absolutely. I thought that was like a hilariously timed, like my internet outage when you muted. So I'm so thankful that was just a mute. I was like, oh no, I'm frozen. Great to meet everyone. I think I probably know a couple of you on the line. My name's Matt. I had the pleasure of actually being one of the first artisans to use Castiron. So as you can see in my picture here, I'm holding a bottle of kombucha. Right about I'd say early to midway through the pandemic, I needed a way to impress my new girlfriend. So we started making kombucha together. It kind of became a little passion project, but we were just doing it for ourselves. And all of a sudden I blink and we have a kombucha business overnight, and I'm trying to manage orders, and I don't know how to build a website, and I don't know anything about how to run a food business. So I caught myself in a situation some of you might be in of like, whoa, this is getting a little overwhelming. I need help. I got super lucky and I found Emily and Mark in the early team at Castiron and found this mission around creating technology to help food entrepreneurs simplify their life, make more money, save time. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to work there. So I have one of the best jobs ever. I get to use the product, but then I also get to help build the product. So we have some really fun new features we want to show today that we've been working super hard on. I want to start. So we did an initial demo webinar series, I think last month, where we did a really in-depth demo of the whole cast iron product. Today, we're going to do a little more of an abbreviated demo of the whole product. We'll show you some of the highlights, some of the areas you can save time and make more money. But then we really want to get in today, and I'll tease it briefly, is some of the new features we've rolled out in the last couple of weeks around accepting tips and better, easier email marketing to get more orders. So we're super pumped for that. But I do want to start and just give a really high level, probably 5-minute overview of the cast iron platform, and then we'll dig into the new features. So as Emily mentioned, feel free, drop questions in the chat. She'll kind of be my moderator. Sometimes I can get going really fast and go a mile a minute. She'll slow me down. She'll call out questions that we have coming in. We're super excited to show you what we've built. Let's hop in. We kind of internally think of cast iron as helping our artisans in a few different ways. The first way we help artisans is giving a super easy to use, easy to build online storefront. So as many of you might have felt either now or before you joined cast iron, you might be selling in a really inefficient manner. You might be doing DM to order. You might have a couple different Google forms. You're managing a bunch of orders coming in different places. You might have your aunt randomly asking to buy a bottle of kombucha and handing you a $20 bill at Thanksgiving, like I was, the situation I was in. So I found myself just really scrambled, and I knew that I needed one place to send my customers where they could have a really easy, user-friendly experience to go and buy my product. So, the very first thing you do as a cast iron artisan is you build your storefront. I like to say that you need absolutely no web experience at all to build a cast iron store. You literally cannot break it. We've provided a super easy to use online storefront template where you can add in your own branding, like your logo, a photo of yourself, a beautiful cover image, but we do all of the back end organizing of those pictures, of the products that you want to create. And so with literally no technical expertise and no coding, you can have one place where you list your entire product catalog and make it super easy for your customers to come in, to see what you have to offer, to add things to their cart, and then a really easy, really familiar online e-commerce checkout experience where by default, we're going to collect all of your customers' information for you, like their name, their email address, their mobile number. We're even going to give your customers the ability to choose how they want to get the product. So if you offer local pickup, local delivery, shipping, or any combination or slice of those three options, your customers are going to have a really easy experience coming in and seeing what you offer and being able to choose the right date and time slot, the right shipping option that works for them and how they want to get their product. So if some of you are some cast iron power users, you'll notice this is actually a pretty new experience that got rolled out in the last day or two, where we're starting to enable you to create time slots and date specific fulfillment options. We're not going to go super deep into that this week. We're going to reserve that for a demo webinar series next week where we really get into fulfillment. But we're super excited about some of the things we're doing here. But then your customers are going to really easily be able to pay you. I was managing cash payments. I was managing Venmos. I was trying to figure out who have I actually requested money from, who haven't I? So no more of that. We want your customers to have a super easy way to pay using Google Pay, Apple Pay, any major credit card, and even the ability to add tips, which we're going to get into here shortly. So we've covered, as of now, we've covered kind of what this online shopping experience for your customers will look like. Super easy, super simple, and really focused on getting your customers who found out about your business to make an order. I want to talk really, really briefly about kind of the back end admin experience of cast iron. And then I want to spend the majority of the time focusing on our new features. So I'm a spreadsheet junkie. When I was running Cultured outside of cast iron, I had like a 50 tab spreadsheet organizing every single batch of kombucha, all the orders, all my flavors, all my costs. And it was really, really messy. And I love spreadsheets and I couldn't even, make that work. So what we aim to do is give you one place to run your entire business where you can really quickly see, how am I doing? Am I selling? Am I not? you can really see at a glance deep information about every order that's coming through. So we're going to organize every single order that's coming in. You're going to be able to dive in and see what are your customers purchasing, what fulfillment options are they choosing. We're going to store all of their contact information so that you can market to them in the future. And really, we want to give you one place to remove that anxiety of, oh man, did I miss an order? Did I miss something? What was that person's email address? Oh, I know I have their cell phone number somewhere. Let me dig through my, my Facebook messages and see what they really wanted. And we want to give you one place to manage all of those orders, all of those custom quotes where you might be, delivering something that's highly customized that requires more of an invoice than just a normal e-commerce checkout experience. And then really be able to manage your entire product catalog where you can come in, you can add the products that you have for sale, you can track inventory, you can update pricing and different customizations that your customers might want to apply, and do that all really simply. I think one of the really nice things about Castiron that I've loved is we are built for food. So we're automatically going to ask you for things like allergen information, dietary information, and then we come with variations where out of the box, you can have things like, what filling does my customer want, what color, what size, what theme. So I think if you've been a cast iron user for a while, hopefully you can feel we're really built for food, and I think that allows us to really serve our target customers even better than some of the other options. I do see we have a couple items in the chat. Emily, any questions so far before we kind of dig into some of the new features?
Yeah, we just got a question from Rosalind about the convenience fee,
Yes.
or the cast iron fee. Is that standard regardless of the order amount, and is this fee passed on to the customer? So let's talk about fees.
Awesome question. We are going to talk about fees. So just so you can follow where I went to my shop settings tab and I've clicked on payments. So at the highest level, we've structured our business to only make money when our artisans make money. So today, there is no subscription fee to pay to use cast iron. We only charge our convenience fee. So today, that fee is 10%. So when your customer adds something to their cart, gets ready to check out and pay, they will see a convenience fee line item that includes that 10% cast iron fee and the payment processing fee that Stripe applies, because they take about 3% of every transaction. So you have three options as an artisan. You can pass on that fee 100% to your customers. I really recommend this option for anyone who's selling things for under $100. I've passed on my fee from day one to my customers. My average orders are about $30 to $70. So on average, my customers seeing about a $3 to $7 convenience fee. I've personally never heard somebody who has an issue. I know everyone's customers are different, everyone's markets are different, but we really recommend pass on that fee, and then cast iron's essentially free for you to use. If you have really fee sensitive customers, or you sell $500 wedding cakes where the idea of a $50 convenience fee just doesn't really sit well with you, you have the option to pay the fees yourself in full, or you can split those fees 50-50. So it kind of reduces the shock from your customer. We really recommend those on really only higher priced items. But if you're selling things for under 80 to $100, we really, really strongly encourage you pass on that fee to your customer. Any follow-up questions on fees? Emily, anything you think I missed there?
We don't have any other questions on fees. Maybe you want to hit on payment payout schedules.
Yeah, absolutely. So we work with Stripe. Stripe is one of the largest online payment processors in the world. So I would go as far to say, if you've bought something online in the last 2 years, I can almost guarantee you've probably sent money through Stripe. They're just generally undercover and you don't really know they're working in the background. So by being a cast iron user, you connect into Stripe. Stripe then is the one that's interacting with your bank account. Stripe is the one who's actually reading your user's credit card, taking that money from them and sending that money directly into your bank account. So every Monday, Stripe processes their payouts. So you'll get paid once weekly, every single Monday, with all of the orders that you sold last week. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to come in, trigger any payouts or anything. And Stripe will even do some of the 1099K reporting on the back end for you. So at the end of the year, you'll get a report from Stripe so you know exactly how much you've collected, what that looks like, and they'll even start to help you file some of that information as well.
Awesome. Andrea wants to know, is there a way to set up custom orders with shared fees, but still keep the full fees paid by customers on regular orders?
Awesome question. The short answer today, no. Definitely something we're thinking about. There are some there is some complication with our database and how it reads that and all that. So I won't get in the technical details today. To keep it super simple, we have done this at the shop level. Now, if you had like $1,000 order and you were really, really sensitive about this, in theory, you could come in, you could change your fee setting really briefly, save that. You could go send a quote, and if you send that quote, in the state where your shop isn't changed, then your customer wouldn't pay the fee. It would need to remain that way until your customer actually pays. So we really don't recommend doing that, just because timing could get weird, people could get confused. So unfortunately today, no. Something we're thinking about in the future, absolutely.
Awesome. We do have a question from Ruth about,
Great.
kind of fulfillment. So a little bit giving a spoiler of next week's demo session, but if you have products to ship, deliver, and pick up, can you make some products pick up only? So product specific fulfillment.
Great question. We have not, product specific fulfillment, not quite yet. So today, similar to fees, these are done at the shop wide level. How a lot of folks will kind of handle this is, let's say you're selling a cookie class. Folks might set up a specific fulfillment option and guide their users to choose a specific option for a specific product. There's no way for us on the back end to like block that transaction though. So I want to be super transparent. And I want to reiterate, that is, I would say probably even more so than us focusing on the fees, that is absolutely something we'll be solving for probably in the next 6 months, is around product specific fulfillment, because we know that's crucial, right? I always say internally, like, you can ship cookies, you can't ship a cake. So we don't want people thinking, oh, I just bought cupcakes and they're going to get shipped to me. We want to give you that control, but we just haven't gotten there yet in terms of prioritizing it.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. That's what we have in the questions for right now. But if you guys have any other questions, pop them in the chat and I'll ask Matt to answer them.
Great. Super, super quick teaser. As Emily mentioned, as of like yesterday in fulfillment options, you can now add specific date and time slots. So if you are using Castiron right now for like your holiday fulfillment orders, and you're kind of doing that manually today, check that out. I do want to give a quick teaser, but yeah, I want to step back and I want to talk about our two new features that we're really, really excited about. And that's, let's start talking about tipping. Both of these new features, at Castiron, every single day, we're always talking about how can we save our artisans time and how can we make them more money. So every single thing that we build has to fit into one of those buckets, or hopefully both of those buckets. So let's talk about tipping. Tipping is absolutely in the realm of make you more money. So we've heard this for a while, and we've finally been able to go and prioritize this. And it's been one of the most positive receptions we've gotten of any feature. So of course, why do we want to allow your customers to tip? You do amazing things. And sometimes your customers want to thank you for your awesome work. We want you to be able to put more money in your pocket and let your generous customers who want to say thank you the ability to do that. So how you can set up tipping, super easy, takes literally about 10 seconds. So you want to go into your payments tab in Castiron. I'm going to show you directly because I'm like, anyone who hasn't set up tipping today, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're just missing out on money. Like, please go set it up today. So in Castiron, I'm in the admin portion of Castiron. I'm on my home screen. You want to come into shop settings and then go to payments. So you're going to see a toggle. You're going to see tipping. If that toggle is blue, that means it's already turned on. Depending on when you signed up, this might have been on by default. We didn't turn this on for folks that were already using us when we rolled this out. But if you sign up in the last week or two, this is probably actually already on. If it's off, it's going to show really light gray. So what you would then need to do is toggle that on to blue and click save. You don't need to do literally anything else. The way that's going to work is your customers then at checkout will have the ability to select some preset tipping options or add in any custom amount that they want. So as somebody's checking out, they can quickly add a 15, 18, 20% tip. They could come in, they could add in, a really large tip. We have, just as like a note, we have maxed out tips to only match the subtotal of an order. Basically, what we don't want to happen is somebody accidentally tip you like $1,000 when they really meant to tip you like 10. So we put in a bit of a safeguard there just to make sure, somebody doesn't say, oh my gosh, I just tipped you 200 because I accidentally hit an extra zero. But your customers, in a super easy experience, can come in, select the tip, and add it. I've had some really, really fun conversations over the last couple of weeks with artisans directly, where their tone has been like, that's cool. I know other people have wanted tipping, but like, I just don't think it's going to really do much for me. Like, I don't think my customers are going to tip. And then inevitably 2 days later, I get an email from them saying, oh my gosh, I just got a $30 tip. I had no idea that, people have wanted to tip me this entire time. So I'd say, we probably have, I think we have around about a couple hundred artisans that have received tips, and so many of them are getting tons of tips already. We had one artisan last week who got $280 in tips selling Thanksgiving pies. Like, give them the option. I know there's a hesitation for myself. I honestly didn't think my kombucha customers were going to tip me. I just thought, like, that's kind of weird. I don't, I'm not doing anything custom for them. They're probably not. Like, every order is like extra $3, extra $5, extra $7. And it's kind of shocking and it's kind of amazing. So please, please, please turn on tipping. I can promise you, you will make more money by doing so. Definitely there's some additional customization we want to add to tipping. This is an early version to get this out in the wild and really hear your all's feedback. So we wanted to make it super easy for your customers to add a tip, and we wanted to make it super easy for you to turn it on. Someday, we want you to be able to customize these presets. We want to be able to do a lot more with it, but in order to get this into the wild and let you make more money faster, we've really prioritized making this super duper simple. So please let us know what feedback you have. If you've turned on tipping and you've seen some tips, throw them in the chat. I'm sure others would love to see it. But I think the highest tip we've seen so far was like $150. So I would probably turn on tipping if I were you. And if I haven't said so already, please turn on tipping. You will make more money. The one thing I wanted to call out, we do not apply the cast iron fee to tips. We are not taking any of your tip money. And we don't plan to ever take any of your tip money. That is your hard-earned money. That is your customers saying thank you and giving you more money. What does happen, though, is Stripe does apply their 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction to that tip amount. There's really no way technically that we can bypass that because Stripe does charge. Stripe doesn't really care if it's a tip or not. They need to charge on the whole transaction. That's how their business model works. So I want to be super transparent about that. Okay. So the next feature that just rolled, actually that is rolling out in about an hour. So this is a bit of a teaser and I apologize, but our new email marketing templates, which I am so pumped about. So in Cast Iron, you have a marketing tab. Prior to today, you've seen options like automated emails. You've seen the ability to easily share products on your social media, to share coupons on your social media. Awesome. We've gotten good feedback on those. And a lot of the feedback we've gotten is folks want more control. They want to be able to control what products they're featuring, the content, the subject lines, the button text, the body of the emails, exactly what time they send it, who they send it to. So this kind of next version of email marketing incorporates a lot of that feedback that we've gotten from our artisans. So why do we care about email marketing, right? Well, we see a lot of artisans using social media as their primary, if not their only source of marketing. At least for me, I don't know if it's you all as well, but for me, marketing my own business, I've just noticed the algorithm has been changing a lot recently. It's extremely video heavy. And a year ago, if I posted something and said, hey, I have new products for sale, I could pretty darn closely rely on that algorithm getting my post in front of my followers. Now, sometimes it's like kind of Jekyll and Hyde. It's either like a post gets like 80 likes or a post gets 2. And I don't even know if people saw it. So we are really investing in more tools to help you own your customer. So in Castiron, every time somebody makes an order or every time somebody even comes to your site, we're collecting their contact information and we're asking them to opt into your subscriber list. So we've in the background been building your contact list, your email list for you to take advantage of. And now we've rolled out a couple new email templates to let you really take advantage of building that list. So in Castiron today, we now have the concept of a single send email templates. These are emails where you can come in and let's say you have a cinnamon roll delivery for Thanksgiving morning, which is actually something we're seeing a lot of recently. You can come in, again, this is another feature, you can't break it. What we know is that you want to market your products to your customer. What we also have a pretty big hunch on is you don't really want to become an email marketing expert. You want to do this quickly. You want to get the right information in front of your customer and you need it to be simple. So we've actually built pre-made templates for you where you can come in, we fill in default text for you like, hey, a new product just dropped. If you want to change that, you can put Thanksgiving cinnamon rolls for sale. You have to do absolutely zero customization of this email. What you need to do to send out beautiful marketing emails now is to choose a product that you want to feature. You need to add in whatever copy, whatever subject line, body text. If you want to change what the button says, you need to make some of those decisions. And then literally that easily, you can send a test email so that you know exactly what that email is going to look like. And then when you've looked at that test and you're ready to go, you click send email and we're going to send a marketing email that looks beautiful, that features that product that you really care about to all of your customers to hopefully drive more purchases from them. So it's really fun. We've had a couple customers who have been using this new feature yesterday. And it was really awesome to see like they sent their first email out and all of a sudden they were already getting orders and we could like see it happening in real time. So totally recommend when this is live, hop in there. But like I said, we've done all the formatting for you. We're going to add in your logo. We're going to, make a nice big bold header that matches your subject line. And really what we want to happen is your customers come in and say, wow, that looks delicious. Let me go buy some. And we're going to drive them directly to your site for you and hopefully get more orders on your behalf. So a big goal, like I mentioned, we want to save you time. We want to make more money. This is one of those features that I think is doing both of those. You can send out a beautiful marketing email in seconds. And sorry, my developer environment's a little slow, so that's why there's a delay. I promise it'll open faster in the real world, but we're super excited about this. So we have 2 different email marketing campaigns ready for you to start sending immediately. So we have 2 different options. We have a product announcement template. Think of this as you've got new products for sale, you've got a holiday pre-sale, you're going to launch your cookie sales. That's the template you're going to want to use. You can choose any active product in your shop to feature in that email. This custom order availability, that is when you're opening up new dates on your calendar. Let's say you want to start opening up your January and February to new custom orders. That's going to allow you to choose a specific custom order form. And in a really similar fashion, come in, let people know you've got new dates available, and literally in about 2 minutes, click a few buttons and send a beautiful marketing email to get more custom order requests. So we're super pumped about this. A couple folks that tried it yesterday said like, hey, this took me less than 2 minutes. I knew exactly what I was sending because I could send a test email to myself. It looked awesome. And my customers started buying right after. This morning, I got a text from one of my friends who's an artisan, said, well, my email marketing's working. 2 minutes, a 2-minute email, and I already got a $180 order. So we are pumped about this. There is so much more we want to invest in the world of email marketing. This is kind of one of our first versions of a new foray into these templates. And we really want your feedback because we know you have it and we want to make this feature as good as possible. So I'll take a breath there. Emily, any questions come through the queue recently?
All right. We have some questions, not about email marketing, but
Okay.
Great job showing that. Very exciting. As a marketer myself, like I can just, double down on what Matt just said, like email marketing, great way to reach your customers. You don't have to be so reliant on hoping that Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media platform puts you in front of your customers. With email, you've got their permission to send you messages. So You just have a lot better chance of getting something out of your email. But we do have a question from Rayleigh. This
Great.
is not about email, but about more variations, I think.
Great.
So she sells her cookies by the half dozen or by the dozen. So she says in the title of her products, the amount of cookies that someone is buying. So she finds herself having to list the same type of cookie twice. For example, chocolate chip cookies half dozen, and then chocolate chip cookies 1 dozen.
Yes.
Can she have a way to put a minimum amount for her orders?
Great question. So there's no way for you to say, for this product, you have to add 6 of them to your cart. So we don't have the ability, if you wanted to list like those cookies once and have people add a bunch to their cart, we don't have a way to have a minimum amount per product. Now, what you could do really is you could set up a product that has 2 different options that folks select for. So if you wanted your chocolate chip cookies, and you just wanted one simple product to do that, you could come in and you could ask as a variation, how many cookies do you want? You could then add a variation that is a 6-pack or a 12-pack, and you could put in different pricing for both of those. So you have the option, if you wanted to, you could absolutely do it that way. I think you probably make your cookies made to order. So if somebody orders them, you go out and you make them and then you prepare them. So I'm actually a little less concerned about setting things up this way. Where this can get a little concerning is where inventory is really important to you. If you only had 10 cookies for sale, then we really recommend you set things up at the individual product level, because our inventory total is going to detect how many of these did somebody add to their cart, and it's going to draw down your inventory every order that gets made. So really, if you wanted to combine your half dozen and your 1 dozen orders, you could totally just say, hey, a 6-pack is $11 and a 12-pack is $5 extra. And then you could require that information from your customer so that every time somebody comes in to make a purchase, they're going to have to choose 6-pack or 12-pack before they add it to your cart. So hopefully that answers your question. Please let me know if it didn't. That's an awesome question, and hopefully others are learning from that great question, because I know the idea of variations and customizations can be a little confusing if you've never set up a site before.
Yeah. And if you have, if you see that and you're like, oh, I wouldn't call that variations, I would call that blank. Tell us what you think that we should call it, because we've actually been talking about that a little bit recently, calling it something different. But Rayleigh says, thank you so much. That is perfect. So great job, Matt. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to throw them in the Q&A or chat. Otherwise, Matt, I think you did a great job because we don't have a ton of questions. Pretty straightforward. Any final words?
If you leave with one message today, turn on tipping. Go to your shop settings, come to your payments tab, and click that little toggle until it's blue and save. I promise you're going to make more money. And really, I think when you see the email marketing, I would really encourage, it's going to be out in about an hour or 2. Go in and play around with it and test it first. We give you the option to send yourself test emails. We want you to be really comfortable with the email marketing we're sending to your customers. Play around with it, test it, and please, please, please provide us feedback, because it is quite literally what helps us improve the product. So we cannot wait to hear from you. And thanks so much for joining, everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys. If you have any other questions in the meantime, feel free to email us. You can email Matt or I at Matt or Emily at castiron.me, or reach out to our support line at help@castiron.me at any time. Thank you so much for your interest in cast iron. Thank you for using cast iron. Thank you for giving feedback. Like Matt said, what you guys are giving to us by using cast iron is so valuable. So thank you so much, and I hope that you have a great afternoon.